didn't know. Meetings are being recorded. All right, I'll see you in an hour-ish. Oh. Hmm. So let us continue our talk. And today we will conclude the 12 disciples and their mystical qualities. We will also, at the end, talk about why we have spoken about this. What relevance is it to you? And what does it teach and show you? News on that to the end. So I believe that we have people on our healing list, those requiring some attention. And I believe you have that list for me now.
Yes, I do. um, Again, I apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce any names.
Mm.
Vicky Acklin, Loy Warner, Lee Morrell, Jeremiah, Brian, Linda Stanier, Irene, George, Angelina, Stella, Dimitri, Maria, Leroy and Donna Henke, Kelsey and Mark and Sandra, Uncle Alan, Tom and Janet, Mark McDonagh, Julie, Sandra, Helen, Marcella, Honey, Teresa Neal, Barbara Rains, Loretta and Michelle, and the medium in which you are blended with wishes for healing as well.
What an array of people, from those requiring relatively modest connection to those facing the end of their physical life. The healing for each will continue throughout the rest of today and into their evening. Last week, we also spoke about gratitude and the way gratitude in your life can lift your life and also give you additional gifts by opening your heart and allowing spirit into your life and to receiving them grateful. More will be given. And I believe now that you have the list of what people are grateful for.
Yes, there's quite a long list. Should I read just a handful?
Please read them all.
Okay. I am grateful for Mark and his Spirit team's teachings. I'm grateful for Spirit. I am grateful for my family and friends. I'm grateful for the Creator in my life. I'm grateful for the animal kingdom. I'm grateful for the unconditional love of Spirit. I'm grateful for being gifted with the senses and heart to sense Spirit in many ways. I'm grateful for the freedom to follow my heart. I'm grateful for the new friends I've had. I'm grateful for the path I am on. I'm grateful for the lessons we receive from Spirit. I am grateful for the Creator in my life. I am grateful for life and those in it. I'm grateful and I appreciate my husband, my children, my grandchildren, and all my extended family and friends. I appreciate you, Mark, for assistance in my spiritual growth. I'm thankful for our beautiful earth, the people and animals we inhabit it, for the sweet songs of the birds at this time of year. My heart opens wide for the many blessings that I have received. I'm grateful for the lessons of growth and wisdom. Every change bears a gift. I'm grateful for Tim, grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for our beautiful earth, Mother, her vastness, plants, trees, mountains, oceans. I'm grateful for those that teach us to shine our light. I'm grateful for dear friends, their love, their humor, their time. I'm grateful for the body that hosts me this lifetime, its health, its vitality. I'm grateful for laughter and joy. I'm grateful for peace. I'm grateful. I would like to express that I'm also grateful for the quiet and still time to walk further on the spiritual path. I am grateful for the many blessings in my life, spirit, people, animals, and nature. And I definitely agree with this last one. Whoever wrote this one, I am grateful for good food and drinks.
Feel what you are grateful for within your heart. Let it open your heart and let the world in. By letting the world in, then we will progress on to the next disciple. It has a connection there. By seeing the world and seeing the world that it is a wondrous place, and it is part of many wondrous places. By feeling it deeply within the bowels of your heart, then you will accept what Simon of Canaan came to know. Sometimes Simon could be referred to as Simon from the land of milk and honey. Or if you wish a phrase to sum him up, it is hearing of good news. This connects very much to gratitude. But Simon doesn't just hear. He hears, he sees, he feels everything to be pure and exactly the way it should be. The purity of a state of being, the purity of heart. He sees nothing wrong. He only ever sees everything to be exactly right. And there is a quote from the Bible where it is mentioned that a feast is prepared. Thou preparest a feast with thy enemies. Thou anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. In this quote, he does not see that there is wrong, that there is enemies at all. There is just gratitude, gratefulness, the acceptance that everything is perfect. He does not try to give a perfect mind, to look on the positive side, because there is no negative side. The heart is pure, it is open, it is flowing through, full of energy of love. Everything, therefore, was an expression of that love. He does not see the world in anything other than an expression of the Creator's joy. Does not see that this person behaves wrongly, that the world is against me, that the world is falling apart. He does not see that he should be something or somebody else. He does not see the world through rose-colored glasses because everything is perfect as it is. Simon of Canaan, or Simon from the land of milk and honey, was the one result to the gratitude we spoke of before. So gratitude will take you to the doorway. And as you stand on that threshold of the door to pure spirit, and you look back at the scene and see everything was the way it was meant to be. In your lives, you look backwards and you see that certain experiences gave you other qualities that you needed to find. That you look back into your life and you saw the obstacles of a certain event or certain behavior by certain people. When you're in the middle of it, you see nothing but pain. But when you look back with the hindsight, you look back over your life, you see that everything was the way it was meant to be. And this is the point of life review. This is the point in part of when you cross, you come into your life review where you learn, you look back, you see the truth. You see why and what and wherefore. You look back and you see everything then being the way it should be. You see those which have grieved you to be none other than your lover in a previous life. Those which have pained you the most and apparently have done the most damage to be none other than your mother, the mother of your creation. The life review is Simon of Canaan, stepping firmly into the land of milk and honey. This is the period or the process of transition. Gratitude opens the heart, but you must then step through it and use an open heart into the world. And those which listen to this, that were present at a talk last evening, I express the need for those to open their hearts and to allow emotions to flow through their heart. So the heart could be open, pure, clear, ready to perceive but not to hold on to grasp but not to hold, to understand and to forgive. It is when you hold on to the qualities of life, then, of course, the problems begin. Life is meant to be experienced. It is meant to be seen as an experience. It is meant to be taken part of as no more than an experience. Imagine now your worst fears came into truth, and your life, what you could perceive of, fell apart. What you held dear was lost. The comfort that you so desired was removed. Are you really hurt and damaged? Or has your life just changed the direction? If your car is damaged in an accident, are you damaged? If your body is thus damaged, are you damaged? This is the realization, the acceptance of all truths, the acceptance that you see the world. And you are then in the world, but not of it. You take part, and you accept everything as no more than just an experience in the play of life. Come back to your truth and realize you are the eternal being, the being of all creation, the being that everything you see is within you. Every grain of sand, every ant, every bird, every tree, the rivers, the oceans, the mountains, the moon and the stars are all within your being. If you follow the logic that has already been given to you, this is your conclusion. So let your heart be gracious. And do not use it just for one or two things. Look around you. From the small to the great. From the easy to the difficult. And know, everything is as it should be. Let your heart be open fully. It is often said that a man on the threshold of enlightenment will either laugh or cry. The laughter, because he looks back on life and says, I took it all so seriously. The cry for the beauty that is there. The beauty of all the pain. The beauty of all the suffering. The beauty for those which seem to pass too soon. The beauty for perceived failures, errors, problems, difficulties. The crying because I took it all so seriously. The final disciple that we will mention in this series is the one which has been much blackened by humanity. The disciple Judas. And you would say to me, why would Judas be the last? Why is he the final quality that you must learn? Why, when he aggrieved so many, committed such sin, is he now standing before you as the path that you must take? Yet this quality is also within you. The quality of Judas is no other than the deepest quality of yourself. If there is no sin, then what is it that Judas did wrong? So here the disciple, Judas, is one that surrenders fully and gives his life. No greater love hath man than a friend would surrender his life for another. Now you would look at that quote and say the life has been surrendered. But it is the surrendering of life that gives the love. It is when you cease to hold on, that you go with life, that you surrender to life with an open heart. Then you step through the doorway. You stop being conscious of what you are being and become consciousness itself. So if we go back to the analogy of the ocean, the ego thinks it's one corner of the ocean and holds on to all the qualities that it perceives will make it richer. And Simon of Canaan would say, look at life and see it whole and complete. Do not see it divided. And then you become aware that you are following the path of the ego, and you become aware that you are being too narrow in your focus. You are being so individual and not whole. You become aware that there is a play you are playing of being separate. A play you are playing of being an individual when you are none other than everything. Yet you must still surrender. Surrender what was that felt like it was so real and complete and whole for you to step across the bridge into the united aspects of the Creator, the unity. It is this that steps you across the threshold. It is the surrender to all, the acceptance of all. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven any other wise. Or let us put it another way. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven alone. Here you stop being individual. You surrender and become the whole. And then you become the love itself, not the expression of the love. You do not become the expression of spirit and be spirit. You do not have spirit. You are then spirit. You cease the individuality and become the friend that is within you, who you are to be. The talk on Judas sums up all the other talks. The individuality within the corner of the ocean. The qualities of forgiveness, gratitude, love, acceptance, desirelessness, seeking not to avoid. In the first talk, we spoke of the error of Peter, where he was given to be the rock of the church, cementing himself firmly into the physical world. But it is the quality of Judas that will take you beyond the world, into your truth. Judas is much maligned in your world, in your Bible. Yet he surrenders through the act of suicide. Symbolically, he gives his life for another. All the teachings of the Bible are in that one act, giving his life for love. Some would say that he gave his life because of his perceived sin, because he sold himself out. But did he not then create the church by allowing the crucifixion and the resurrection? The way of Judas is the way you must all follow. The way of Judas is the way for your final step. In other talks, we have spoken about the astral world that you progress through until you reach the end point and you step into spirit. This, of course, is the act of Judas. You stop seeing the individuality. You stop chasing for your own desires and needs. You start to see others, start to feel that there is a spirit draw. You stop trying to learn. You stop trying to gather information, knowing all is available to you. Mediumship teaches you this. Knowledge is available when you look in its direction. The qualities of beauty arise. The gratitude of seeing everything is just so. And you stop being the expression of consciousness to be consciousness. Here, of course, we have mentioned that there are 12 qualities. If you like 12 steps, if you like 12 chakras. Each one must be understood. It is moving from the qualities of church, representing the body, and to stepping across the threshold from from the mind into consciousness. There is nothing that has been given that you do not have. There is nothing that I have said that you do not have the ability to express. You hold on to your corners of the ocean, and you hold yourself there thinking, if my corner was but bigger, so would I be. Yet it is the surrender of that corner that you do become the person that you are. The one person, if you wish. The oneness, the unity, the I am. In a talk, or I should say, as an answer to a talk, one person said, when we were talking about the journey through enlightenment, that person said, hopefully we're a long way through that journey. Now you have your answer. 6 months ago that comment was made. And 6 months ago this talk was prepared as an answer to that question. Where are you on your spiritual progress? Are you still caught in the body? And are you at pain because of the difficulties of the world? Or have you an open heart and a clear mind? Now there is a shortcut, a perceived shortcut. And that shortcut is to totally surrender and let Spirit do the work. Now that phrase, let Spirit do the work. There are a few of you here which have heard it many times. And of course, that phrase has suited certain situations, certain things that needed to be done. Let Spirit do the work. And it is mentioned much within mediumship, within the desire for progress, the desire for evolution, if you want. Yet the truth of that phrase, it appears very much on the surface regarding the exercise I must do. The times where you have to make a decision and you say, which way should I go? Times you want an answer regarding your direction. What should I do? Times when you must make conversation or friends or help someone in pain. You say, what should I say? And then you come to Simon of Canaan, where he ceases to say, "What do I hear?" but only hears beauty. You have all been given your signs. Will you not just look inside and realize because this is where the truth lies. Those walking the spiritual path must first begin to look inwards. And they do so by using Peter. And they find maybe their church. And I mean the word church in a very broad way. The church of being, shall we say. And thus the journey to spirit begins. It is perceived, but in fact it is not true that there is a journey at all. As you walk through that final doorway, you realize you are already home from the beginning. So the journey home was just a fallacy. You just had to wake up to being at home. Like the man that falls asleep in the chair and lives that dream and the nightmare that it possesses, and lives it, experiences, and bodies move, and the skin sweats for the pain that he sees and perceives. The intensity of the experience in that dream is real. Until he wakes up and sees it as a dream. Does he then not smile and say to himself, "It was not real. It was all in my mind"? What a nice story to conclude. So these talks on the 12 disciples was inspired by you, Jane. And we give these, I believe, 7 hours of answer. Of course, it is not personal to one, but for everyone. So I believe now that the medium is taking a break for 2 weeks. When we return, there will be 2 things to note. One is sometime this week, the medium will express the voice of a new guide, which has been worked upon for the last few weeks. And you will hear that voice at some stage in those conversations beginning in 2 weeks' time. And also, the talks will be on a very practical nature regarding your everyday life. But if you would like to listen to these talks once more, I'm sure they're available somewhere. Find out by looking inside. Send more people for healing, and they will be prepared for the list for next time. God bless you all.